Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Stock Report. Today is Friday, June 15th, 2018. Hope everyone had a great day, great week. So let's have a bit of a wrap-up, if you will. So, things kind of petered out on Friday. Actually, it's not really a big surprise, right? Because we started to have this turn in our stochastics yesterday. So that kind of put us on an alert mode to have some unpredictability to the downside. How far will we go? Hard to say, but we may start a downtrend for the next week or so, but we'll see, right? Just got to protect the investments that you have. Maybe take some profits. If you got a good profit on something, don't let a good profit get away from you, and never, ever lose more than 7-8%. So, I think next week, if we can break through this trend line here, it's going to be a down week. But you know, it could swing down and back up towards the end of the week. But I think the general sentiment next week is going to be down. So we'll see what happens. It could be wrong, but that's my feeling according to my charts. We've had an upswing in volume today, so there's some good selling going on as well, and that'll probably continue through. Couple of amazing price action this week. So let's take a look at some stocks that are quite talked about. So we had AMD, which had a great week, closed above some resistance on here. Almost formed a triple top, but broke through it. So next week, I'm not sure what kind of action we'll see, but maybe this will become the floor. So people, I'm sure, were cheering this stock on quite a bit throughout the stock boards. So good week for AMD. Excellent. I don't see any kind of trend changing unless we get a pullback of some kind. Doesn't look like it though, but be aware of that. Tandem diabetes is another big one. People are in love with this stock because it keeps going up non-stop. So let's zoom in here. Had another great week. Opened up around 15, closed 19, 91. Almost, well, it got over 20, but pulled back. But yeah, another great day. I'm thinking that I've mentioned this before, the next point of resistance for this stock is going to be around 44 or so. So I think if you want to jump in, please do. But be careful. It's been going up nonstop, so you need to know when to take a profit. Right? Another stock that brought a lot of attention, Dropbox, just started trading, and it's been very volatile. Swung around this week quite a bit. So what will next week bring? I don't know. Who knows, right? It's just really hard to say with these IPOs. It's only been trading a few months, but it's got a lot of attention this week. So we'll see how this goes. Had a great day today. Had a great week. I found a couple interesting stocks that I think you guys would find interesting too. That I actually bought some shares in. And I'm looking back here. Before we get to that. New stuff. Let's look at some of the old stuff. So CPG. I've been talking about this for more than a few weeks. Looks like we had a bit of a breakdown the past couple of days in CPG. I think the next point it's going to be down here in this 650 or so area. So it might be time to buy. We'll see what happens though, right? We'll be on alert for this one, but this kind of broke down this week. Kind of held steady for a while, right? It held this point of resistance very well over the past month, and then boom, today we lost it. So we'll see where this ends up. We're down 3%. Let's see here. A couple other interesting stocks I'd like to talk about. Anything on the old side? Let's see. No, not really. Let's check out OIH and then we'll move on. It's been a rough week for oil. As you can see, we totally lost it today. We're below this trend line. Resistance line, excuse me, not trend line. I think our next stop is going to be around, this 22 area, maybe even 20, was this 23? 22, 23, 22.87, 22. It seems like a reasonable place to kind of bottom out, and we'll see where it goes from there. But yeah, oil did not have a good week this week. So let's get to the new stuff. What is new and exciting? I purchased some shares in GoDaddy. Why? Because it's just been trending up nicely for months. I had a couple pullbacks over the time, but I think this is one that's going to be a good type of long-term play where you don't have to watch it every day. It was down a little bit today, but I think the long-term prospects for this stock are good. If I can zoom out a little bit here. Over the past couple of years, it's done nicely. It's just been chugging up. Those are the kind of stocks that, like I said before, you don't have to worry about this every single day. Unless it kind of falls off the rails a bit, then you can decide. But it has had a great uptrend. Really holding pretty well all year at the 50-day moving average. Next stock of interest. Let's see if we can figure out a theme here. Oh, here's the theme. The theme is very boring companies. So utilities, regulated. So electrical utilities. I bought some shares in there. Why? Because they're having a turnaround. I think an analyst day upgraded some of them. So the whole sector is looking quite good. And the first one I bought was American Waterworks. Even though this isn't I don't think this is much of a utility. Well, it is a water utility, it sounds like, but looks like we're having a good swing up here. My next target for this stock is around 85 bucks. You know, we'll take these small moves, right? They're conservative moves. We know it's not gonna, the bomb's not gonna fall out of it. It's not one of those type of stocks. If it starts to, you can get out, and you can just move on to the next thing, right? So I like AWK. Let's see. We have a few other ones. PNM. Oops. PNM. Resources Inc. I think the next stop for this one's going to be, could be 38. This could be held as a ceiling here, but I think we have another chance to go back up here to 40. So this is when I also jumped into at, actually I got in at 36.80, close at 36.75, but I think this is when we can do a nice swing trade for it. Make a couple $100. You know, you make a couple $100 here and there every week, it all adds up to nice profit. So I know that there's some people out there on YouTube who like to get up and then just trade whatever's the high flyer for that day, and that's totally fine, and nothing against it. But I'm trying to think about those maybe who have a day job and can't just micromanage this every single second of the day. That's the type of stocks I like to look at for you guys. PNM is one. Another one, XEL. XEL Energy, same type of setup. You could see over here, stochastics down here, same type of setup. Need I say more? Piece of cake. Another one, very boring stock, New Jersey Resources. They are based out of New Jersey, and they're gas utility as well. Same type of setup, very boring. I bought all these three stocks. NJR at 42.25, so it's at 42.45. Let me think. I did find an interesting stock here. I didn't buy it. I'm just kind of watching it. What do you guys think about this one? DRNA. Dicerna Pharmaceuticals. Closed down today, but it looks like it was trying to swing higher. I think if we can get above the 10-day moving average, that would be a very positive sign. And now these pharmaceutical stocks are quite tricky to catch at the right time. I find anyway. Maybe you guys have better luck, but this is something to watch. I think this can potentially swing higher. A lot of these stocks too, they open higher, but they close lower too. So that's another thing. It's hard to buy them on the upswing. The 10-day moving average for this is 1337. So we were there today, I believe, 1348. But We can close above it. So this is what I would consider watching. Quite an interesting setup we have right here. Let me look at some other ones here. So those are the ones. So electrical utilities, those look good, I think, for next week. And with oil falling down on its face a bit, probably some of the airlines would be a good bet. So let's see, like Hawaii Airlines. Oops, if I can spell, I'm using a different keyboard. Hawaii. Sorry, I just thought of this one on the top of my head. I'll come back with this one. Let's just check Southwest. I think that's, or AAR. That's a pretty, AAL. Actually, not much action on this one today, even though oil is tanked. But we could have a potential setup here for something. I just don't see it yet. We can check Delta real quick. I've never bought Delta before. I have American. So it's bouncing around a bit. Not much action. Pretty boring. Don't really see anything to make me want to buy it right at the moment. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm trying to find some other ones that might be a good pick. Now, these I found these yesterday. These are kind of a high risk. I would think kind of a high risk, but I think they're mostly pharmaceutical. Let me go through some of these to talk about ADRO. Is this one of them? Wadro Biotech had a nice swing up another 2% today. It started to swing up. I had a nice swing yesterday. I think it has potential to go back up here to, what's that around? I'm just guessing $9. So another $1 here, $1 saved, $1 earned, right? This one has a lot of nice swings where you can potentially, might be a little, probably it's not too late to get in there now, but look at the nice swings in this stock, right? You can use the stochastic as definitely your friend, and the trend is your friend too. So when it starts trending up, it's a good sign, right? You kind of sit back for a few days, relax. Another type, what I labeled high risk too. Let's see here, GPRE. Down, Green Plains. I saw a swing. Didn't really do much today. Down 55 cents, down 2%, but looks like that was bottoming out a bit. I'm not sure what they do. They don't really care. Let's see, ADRO. IMGN. There's another one. Looks like this was going to take off, but didn't have such a good day today. It was around down 4%. But we'll keep an eye on it because it has some good resistance around here in this 950 area. As you can see, you look back, people start to come in and start buying it. So if you buy it at 950 and shoots up to 950.10, shoots to 12, hey, that's pretty good. That's 20%. You know, that's something I would keep an eye on, and I'm going to keep an eye on. Let's see, and the last one I'm going to talk about today, and for the week, CJ Energy Services. This thing is just falling to pieces. But let's take a look. Looks like we have some resistance down here. It closed higher for the day. Still closed down, but it closed higher for the day by 2 cents, right? So, and volume seemed to have picked up a little bit. Let me see if I can zoom out. Not great, but there's some interest in buying here. So, there's definitely probably some value in watching this. If we can get another upswing in oil, maybe it's the bottom for oil. I don't know. According to OIH, it doesn't really look like it. But this is something we can definitely watch. It's one of those nice price stocks where you can buy a couple hundred shares and not break the bank, right? So, listen, that is all I have for this week. If you guys want to see a particular stock, put it in the comments. Let's talk about it, because without I like to have some input from you guys. I did have some input on Instagram on General Electric. Let's take a look at that, how it did this week. I lied. Here's another one. Did GE fall off the cliff here? Yeah, it did a bit, hey? Look at this. It's at 1330, trending towards 13, 1284. This is the bottom down here, 1277. I don't think it's even a long-term, well, maybe a long-term bottom. I don't know. We can look at a weekly chart here and zoom in here. Let's see. Excuse me. Yeah, it's just not looking very good. Not looking good at all. Went through this line, big line of resistance here. So yeah, I mean, I don't know where the bottom is going to be. Could even be down here at 10. But I'll keep an eye on this one because this is a very popular stock people like to talk about. You know, the only value I would see in this company right now is if they were to break up or spin off a big division and get some cash, or have it spin off and trade separately in its own entity. That'd be pretty cool. Okay, everyone, have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you next week.